Welcome to episode number 82 of the Between Two Brands podcast. I am still your host, Bill Petrie, and as always, I want to thank you for joining me today. I think we've got a fun and an insightful show for you today. So buckle up. We'll get to it in just a minute, but you know what we have to do first? Got to pay the rent. Hey, distributors, you know what? Your clients are no longer satisfied with you merely acting as a middleman, slapping their logo on generic, predictable, and frankly uninspiring products. What they're demanding is something more, merchandise that feels as if it were thoughtfully curated just for their unique brand. Now, to stand out, your clients need something exceptional, products that truly reflect their brand identity and set them apart from the crowd. Now, this is where our friend Ros Mogel and his team at Seven Sourcing come in. Now, with over 30 years of custom direct sourcing experience, they are the clear leaders in the space. And here's just a couple reasons why you need to partner with Seven Sourcing on custom merchandise projects. One, they have established relationships with vetted and trusted factories. Number two, they ensure all merchandise passes a rigorous quality control check by an accredited third-party partner. Number three, they comply with but frequently exceed industry standards, manufacturing requirements, and product safety regulations. Fourth, and maybe the most important one, they manage every part of the logistics and communicate through every step of the process. Now, in other words, with that expertise, they know how to deliver bespoke merchandise that will position you as a distributor as the hero in the eyes of the client, while also steering clear of those pesky pitfalls that come with managing it on your own. Now, yeah, it does take a little bit more time, typically between 75, 90 days, to design, develop, and deliver truly unique and original merchandise. But isn't that extra planning worth it to craft unique, exceptional products that foster lasting loyalty? I sure as heck think so. So when you're ready to elevate yourself from just another promotional products distributor to a true partner that delivers exactly what your clients crave, unique, custom branded merchandise designed specifically for them, reach out to Russ and his team at sales@sevensourcing.com. All right. For the opening shot this week, I thought we'd do some industry quick hits. It feels like it's a long overdue one. Things are changing, especially here now we're in August as this episode drops. So here's a couple. About a month ago, Facilis had their supplier showcase in, I believe it was Chicago, right before the ASI show, and they announced a new head of AA. Let's try that again. A new head of AI. Which is kind of interesting. I see a lot of companies, even in our industry, I know commonsku's done it, and I think others have done it too, but having someone in charge of using AI, modeling AI, and creating AI specifically for their specific needs. Really cool stuff from Facilis and obviously commonsku. We talked to Bobby Lehue about that a few weeks ago. Fossa Apparel, a friend of the show, Kenny Ved, named a new account manager in Megan Hernandez. You might remember her from Snugs and Logomark and Gold Star. What a great get for Kenny and Fossa Apparel. I know she'll do a great job there. Number three, American Solutions for Business. Always love talking about them. My good friend Justin Zavadil and obviously Dana Zezo. They bring in Kirk Ross, great guy, by the way, as Director of Partnership Growth. A lot of really interesting things I think are happening at American Solutions for Business. And you know, they have the rebrand a while ago. They're really doing some interesting things. And so I thought I'd bring it up. And guess what? I just did. ASI reported right before the ASI show in Chicago that distributor sales grew 2.5% in the second quarter. The thing I found interesting about that, it's still applied very unevenly. Larger distributors generally are reporting stronger sales than smaller ones. So something to watch there as things are still topsy-turvy when the war with Iran as I'm recording this. So hopefully things will stabilize soon and everybody will experience some growth on the distributor side. The last one I really wanted to talk about today is two guys who I know pretty well who are partnering up to do something truly amazing. Lawrence Hanley, who Plant Daddy, he was on from Desk Plants. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. And Rusty Pepper from Taylor Promo Marketing, he is going to be on the show in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. But they've teamed up to call what they call Team on Demand. And what they're doing is they're trying to mobilize the promotional products industry, the branded merchandise industry, for relief for the victims of the earthquakes in Venezuela. And the numbers there are really staggering if you haven't seen or haven't been in top of mind. At least 4,490 people have died. At least 16,700 are injured, and at least almost 18,000 have been left homeless. So what they're doing is, like I said, they're mobilizing our industry, and you can look at their website. It's teamondemand.org. They've created an Amazon wish list, which they are going to be delivering to the impacted communities. I've made a purchase there. It's already been sent to Lawrence's warehouse in Austin. They're asking both suppliers and distributors, please donate any misprints, overruns, blank items directly to that desk plant warehouse. And you can email Lawrence on that if you want to do that. Lawrence@deskplants.com. And frankly, if you have some cash to donate, they're trying to raise $25,000 to help offset the logistical costs of really doing what I think we all would agree is good work. So again, that website is teamondemand.org. And it's good to see good people doing great things. And so those are your industry quick hits as we blast through the year, aren't we? Well, before we get to our guest and bring on our guest, let's go ahead and pay one more bill, shall we? Hey, do you know what season it is? That's right. It's business valuation season. Now, maybe you don't know what your company's worth. Maybe it's been more than a few years since your last valuation and you need a new benchmark to see if you're actually increasing in value. And heck, you might want to see if it's even time to sell your company. Regardless of the reason, Jamie Watson and the experts at Certified Marketing Consultants, they have extensive experience in the world of branded merchandise and the financial knowledge necessary to provide you a fact-based valuation of your company. All you need to do is email them at info@certifiedmarketing.com for a confidential discussion today. All right, that's the opening shot for this week. Let's go ahead and bring on our guest. Hey, my guest today, he doesn't need an introduction, but you know what? I love wasting people's time, including my own. So let's waste yours, his, and mine. He is a lifelong Hoosier, a serial entrepreneur, and someone who has built a career around growing businesses while staying deeply connected to the community. After helping lead his family's toy company, Kip Brothers, he purchased CoasterStone in 2009 and has since expanded through the acquisition of several companies, creating a diverse portfolio of brands while continuing to invest in local jobs and American manufacturing. Now, beyond business, he is passionate about creating opportunities for people with differing abilities. I'm sure we're going to talk about that. He serves as a board chair of the Indiana Canine Assistant Network and has championed partnerships that bring more visually impaired employees into the workforce. When he's not building companies or even opening a shipping store because his town needed one, you'll find him coaching his 4 kids' sports teams, spending time with his lovely bride, Sarah, and their black lab, Yogi Leo. Please join me in welcoming my friend and the friend of everybody in the industry, the one and only David Glenn. David, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for having me. Great intro. I like it. Love it.
I appreciate it. I am known widespread for my intros.
I can see why.
Hey, let's jump into it. So CoasterStone has been around for decades. I want to know what has allowed the brand to stay as relevant as it is in an industry that's always trying to chase what's next, the new thing.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, CoasterStone, like I said, it's been around since '83. And we were actually the first absorbent stone coaster in the industry. Or I said we, CoasterStone. I was a wee baby when they started, but
right.
They were they were actually brought that into the industry because it worked. It was an item that worked. And, over the years, we've evolved how we decorate, improved and added a couple items. But the functionality of an actual drink coaster is what keeps it, present and future in the promo world.
Yeah, no, I think that is great. It's like the same product, almost probably virtually since 1983, but the decoration methods have absolutely shifted and changed as, not only the industry wants them to change, but the end users do.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it used to be just the stone. Then they went with a one color, and then then you were do multiple colors, and then now we're doing digital printing. But yeah, the square coasters, the round coasters, the sizes, the
Yeah.
car coaster, the trim. It's all the
Yeah.
same item, same functionality. Um, it's different
I love it.
product.
You've been in this weird, wacky industry for a long time. We won't say how long. What in your mind has changed the most, and what hasn't changed at all?
Yeah, so I was a distributor first,
Hmm.
working with my dad's company, and then moved into the supplier side. Um, I mean, the idea of how a promotional product should be used has not changed. I think the biggest change, and anybody can, and you've talked about in a lot of your podcasts, is how technology and marketing, social media has really impacted what we do and how we do it.
Yeah, it
Where it
has.
used to be all trade shows and catalogs and fax machine for you youngins. That's where
Hey,
we would fax
don't,
advertising.
David, don't forget camera ready art.
Camera ready art. Well, we joke. We've had a couple people still say, "Hey, can I fax you the artwork?" And that used to be a thing. You would
I
fax somebody
remember.
camera ready art, and you're going, "How would you fax a single color?" But it was a
Yeah.
thing. It was
Yeah.
definitely a thing. So technology has definitely made things easier, but also added more challenges to how we communicate.
Yeah. So what hasn't changed at all?
What really hasn't changed is the quality of our product.
Mm,
For us, and again the value of a good promotional product
yeah.
to the end user.
Yeah, and I one thing I would add to that, if I may, which means I'm
Sure.
going to, I still think even with all the technology and all the noise that's out there, relationships still very much matter in this industry.
Correct. Yeah. No, that relationships, and I would say the people,
Yeah,
the one on one. We do a lot of marketing. We use a great company called Brandivate.
never
Um,
heard of them.
uh, but we do a lot of marketing. But at the end of the day, we can get in front of them with those pieces. But it is the relationship. It is the people doing it. Is not a computer. It's not social media.
So, what opportunities in our little ecosystem here of branded merchandise do you feel like are being overlooked right now?
Um, I, I mean, again, you've touched on this a lot. People are overlooking that the importance of those relationships. Yes, you can buy a coaster online for less money,
Mhm.
but you've got less quality. Quality's lower, the product's a little bit different. But when you have an issue, when there is a concern, when you need ideas, you're not getting that from uh,
Yeah.
a website.
No,
So
you're not. And I joke with people who are not in our industry, and I've said this before, but our industry, from the time a product is ordered till the time it's delivered, there's about 57 opportunities for failure between those two dots. And if you're just buying it from a faceless online company, when something goes wrong, and it will, just because that's just the law of averages, it will. What are you going to do? Who are you going to call?
yeah, who's going to call? Who's going to fix it? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that we're perfect. We've made mistakes, but when there's an issue and
Yeah,
you call me, I can physically make phone calls and get it fixed, come up with a
mm,
solution.
love
When
it.
you're just emailing a company that maybe is not even managed in this country, you're just getting a blanket response, and that's not
Yeah,
how we operate.
following the script, as it were. For people who don't fully know your story, what is it about buying and growing businesses that always excites you?
Well, I would tell my wife I get bored. Not bored in what I'm doing, but bored in the challenge.
Gotcha.
I really like challenges. I like fixing things. But when I see an opportunity to add to our product line, um, that a need in the industry or something we could do better. But there's also a side of it I like enabling people to work.
Yeah.
Giving creating opportunities for people to work to manage. Like for example, during COVID, beginning of COVID, we had no idea what was going to happen. Like everybody else, our doors got shut down. We also got hit with uh, what's it called, ransomware.
Mm-hmm.
So we were, it was like a double whammy, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have jobs for my employees.
Yeah.
We were fortunate; we paid them through COVID, but so what? I made an acquisition to create, make sure we had work for those people.
Yeah.
Um, and it ended up, we CoasterStone came back, and thankfully, and then we just then had more to do.
Yeah. No, I love
But I
that. I love that answer because it reminds me, and I look back and hopefully I still have a lot of career ahead of me, but as I look back on things I've done, the things that have excited me the most, were the times I felt most alive was when I was building something. When it was building what I did at Promo Corner, what was building Brand Evade, what building Promocations. Those are the most times where anything feels possible, and at the same time, nothing feels possible. But I'm going to try to figure it out. And that
right.
growing process just always makes me feel so alive. So I get that restlessness you're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like, if I can add value and I can build on it and, develop, like we've got a great sales team here. And I'd say, hey, if we added this product or this product line, how do you think that will help us? And that, help us and help the distributors. And they said, oh, I think that'll be great. Or, I've turned down opportunities, or at literally the 11:59th hour said, hey, there's something doesn't feel right. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Um, the way I make my acquisitions, a lot of numbers guys wouldn't appreciate. Though, I
Mm.
go with gut a lot of times. What do I feel we could do? I've gotten it wrong. I'm not going to say they've all been
Sure.
perfect, but I always look for that good opportunity, and I don't dwell too long. It's either a yes or no, and I hit it hard.
So let's dig a little deeper on that because you have acquired multiple companies over the years, even since I've known you. So you don't have a framework for knowing whether a business is worth buying. Do you have like a framework whether it's worth buying or worth walking away, or is it really truly that gut feel?
I mean, I want to say ultimately it's a gut feeling. Don't tell my wife that, because she sees a lot of research behind it. But
David, we have four
you know,
listeners. Your wife's never
yeah.
going to know.
Well, my grandmother is going to listen as well.
Hi, Grandma.
Yeah. Um, but no, I mean, yeah, the framework is, how can I fit this within my portfolio? What do I need to do? Do I need to bring on another manager? Do I need my facilities? Like, if
Right.
I could bring it in under the same roof that I have, that's a lot easier start. Um, or like one acquisition I made, was out in Maryland, and I originally planned to leave it there. I didn't want to
Hmm.
lose jobs. I didn't want to change those people's lives. But I did make a surprise visit, and made some surprise findings. So
Ooh,
in a week's time, I had my ops guy out in Maryland. We had a full 53-foot truck there. We loaded up and we pieced out. Um, and I had to. They were going to take me down.
yeah. No,
Uh,
that's interesting.
but
So
yeah,
when
so there's
you're
a lot of.
so when
And
you're
then
evaluating a business, you're looking at everything from people, relationships, culture, but ultimately the opportunity. Does it really fit in your mind what you're already doing?
correct. And
Okay.
if they can I buy, create value? I mean, even with
Sure.
going back to CoasterStone, my background, working with my dad, it was importing.
Hmm.
So I'm able to import the supplies that I needed at a considerably less than what they were, where they were buying it from a local shop, you know, a U.S. importer. I can import it, direct, and
Yeah.
relationships with others. Even just it's all the way down or up to my copy machines. I call hey, I'm looking at acquiring this or starting this. This is the kind of printer I need. What do you got for me?
Yeah.
And I don't have to, recreate the wheel. I don't have to,
Right.
investigate. They get me taken care of.
Well, and one thing I know about you is that you love solving problems because you just started in the last 8 months or so, Bulldog Pack and Ship, which came out of a frustration with shipping options in your town. But also, I would imagine, given what you've just spoken about, it was also not only an opportunity to treat your restless syndrome, solve a problem for the community and create value for the community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, like you said. So actually, it's not my town; it's where a button shop is. But I'm there often. It might as well be my town.
Right.
But yeah, no, I just saw my frustrations with getting what we needed. I mean, I've been shipping for 35 years, and kind of had this idea. I had lunch with somebody who said, "Hey," or one of my suppliers said, "Hey, we just bought this pack and ship store in Wisconsin." I was like, "All right, I think
Hmm.
that's a sign."
Yeah.
And my wife and I, we opened up from literally from scratch. We're independent, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed it because we are involved with the community. People come in every day. They're like, "Thank you so much. We needed this." They're not having to drive 30 minutes to drop something off, and it's actually working. And
Good.
and I'm getting calls from other towns saying, "Hey, would you open up a store here?" Which is you know a good compliment, I would say. But
Well, it's easy,
I'm
also easy for them to spend your money.
correct. Actually, some of them have offered me rent, free
Oh,
rent
wow.
for a while. So I feel like hey, we're building something there, and I don't know where it'll take us, but having fun, it's enjoyable, it's creating community. I'm really connected with the community now, which
Yeah.
is a passion. Education, students like that. So it's been fun. I've
I
enjoyed it.
love it. One of the things you also have a passion for is you have been very intentional about creating opportunities for people with differing abilities. I want to ask a couple questions about that. And you and I have had many offline conversations about this, but I think it's worth sharing on the podcast. Where did that commitment begin?
So we've discussed a little bit. I have a brother with a disability, intellectual disability, and I've grown up around it. We did a lot of coaching and participation with Special Olympics, and everything and anything that he's done. Uh, we as his brother, I've never seen anything different, and I've always treated him like anybody else. Um, and as he worked for my dad, and then he worked for me at CoasterStone in our warehouse, and we always worked with his abilities. You know,
Yeah.
um, if you work with the abilities people have,
Yeah.
then world's a better place. So over the years, I've been motivated to engage individuals with disabilities and say, okay, here's what we've got. Um, let's see where you could fit in. So we've hired individuals that were blind, which people say, how do you do that? And I go, we they learn like they're human beings.
Hmm.
They just can't see. Well, not everything I need that we're doing. You need eyesight.
Right.
In the button shop, we had a guy named Ori. He had zero vision, and
Wow.
we found our 1 inch buttons. He can make those without needing to see because the assembly piece that matters is done afterwards
Hmm.
in regards to making sure that it's straight.
Yeah.
So um, you know, adding those things and utilizing their abilities. But the biggest thing is giving them an opportunity.
Yeah.
People don't understand. You know, you and I, we get up in the morning, we get dressed, we jump in the car, we go to work, we go to the store, we go out to nice dinners, and so on and so forth because we have money. We do that. If somebody isn't able to drive, they don't have a job, they don't have money, they have no way of getting around.
Yeah.
They have no way of living an independent life to be part of society where they want to be.
Right.
So like Ori, we would our team, not my idea, our team said, "Hey, can we pick them up and take them home every day because the public transportation is horrible?" Said that's great, and they had great conversations with them.
That's awesome.
Um, and then now then he had money to go buy the movies he wanted to watch. Then he's
Yeah.
not bugging anybody else for money. It's a full circle.
It really is. And I didn't grow up with someone like your brother, but I think, and you know this, I don't know how many people listening know this, but my wife's sister, my sister-in-law, who's 3 years older than my 2 years older than my wife, she's intellectually disabled. And so when I first started dating Sandy when I was 19, and she was a worldly woman of 20. She was bewitching me, I'm sure. But anyway, that's when I first got, that close to someone with an intellectual disability. And it always reminds me of what I hate about customer service. I have a problem with customer service, all I hear is what can't be done instead of telling me what can be done. And it's the same thing with my sister-in-law. People focus on what she can't do. She can't drive, but there's so many things she can do, and she does hold down a job, and she's able to go to walk to work, and she's able to cook and do laundry. So there's so many things she can do being a functional, productive member of society, but so many people, all they do is focus on what can't be done.
Yeah. No, yeah, I don't. We actually, recently hired two recent high school graduates. Both of them have autism. Um, and one of them came from, I just had a customer came in and said, "Hey, do you hire individual with disabilities? I know this great kid, he's graduating. He just, he needs looking for a job." I said,
Mhm.
"Let's bring him in. Let's talk to him."
Sure.
And that was a good fit. The next one, he applied for a job like everybody else, and his job coach contacted me and said, "Hey, like I haven't heard back," and we didn't get back to anybody yet, so it wasn't like we were. And I would never have known through his application either.
Right.
And based on our conversation, I asked her. I said, "Does he have a disability? Like, is this why we're?" And she said, "Well, yes, I'm not supposed to disclose that. I don't
Right.
need to disclose it." I said, "No." I said, and I kind of explained.
Right.
I said, "Come in." She's like, "All he needs is his first job. He needs experience. He needs the confidence." And so he came in. I showed him what we did. And I said, "Do you think this is something that you could do, that you would enjoy, you'd want to do?" And he said, "Yeah, I'd love to try it." And I said, "Here we go." First of all, I am not giving you this position. I am not creating. You have earned this.
Yeah.
You have the skill set to do it. Now, is he producing at the same speed as somebody without a disability? No, but I don't care. That doesn't
Right.
that's
Doesn't
the end
factor
of the
in.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, my factor is he is contributing to what we're doing. He shows up on time every day. He puts the work in. And I said, if this is not a good fit for you, then it's okay if you leave. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to be a lifer here, but this is a good stepping stone for you. And my entire team is very supportive of it. They're welcoming, and they feel welcome to come in. And I,
Love
I,
it.
I think I wish I can get more businesses. I've been fighting for a seat on the mayor's advocacy committee in our city to help advocate for these individuals because
They
they
need
could
it. They
be.
need
Yeah,
advocates.
yeah, and I'm happy to be loud. I'm happy to explain.
Yeah.
I mean, we one of the biggest for the organization with individuals with visually impaired, their biggest hurdle is transportation, but also
Right.
getting an opportunity because companies are scared. Like, oh, what is it going to cost? I don't want to adapt to somebody. I don't want to
Right.
change. So I could tell the story, and I was on a panel at the chamber event. I said it cost me 1 penny to adapt to him. People go, "What do you mean 1 penny? How do you How
Yeah.
do you decide that?" I said we had to. We were forced. We had to do it. We had to tape a penny to his time card so he knew which one was his.
Yeah.
I mean, that did not break the bank, Bill.
No, it didn't. And it's
Yeah,
again just thinking creatively how to do. I love this part of your story. I really do. I don't have any other questions, but I think rumor has it you have some things on a sheet of paper for me.
I do. I do.
All right.
And I know I'm talking a lot because that topic
No,
is very, very passionate to me, and I could talk
I
forever.
love. I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about it. I think it's important to talk about. Like I said, it's uh, people, all people, just people in general want a chance. They want opportunity. They want to feel they contribute. They want to feel important. They want to feel seen.
Yeah.
And I think to if I could distill what you're saying, I think far too often people look at people with intellectual disabilities or other disabilities, what do you say, differing abilities, and they think they can't do this as opposed to the positive, what can they do?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we'll do that on another podcast. We'll just do all that. And I'm always
Absolutely.
happy to talk to any other business owners to say, hey, this is how, I can help you adapt to their abilities.
Yeah, love it.
But yeah, so any questions? So as you know, as we discussed, I sell coasters. I've done it for a long time,
You do.
uh, and buttons.
Yep.
Um, but one of the things that people always laugh about is when you come to my office, I have coasters everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I use a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But also on my desk is other promo items that just don't disappear.
Okay.
So this one here, this is
Okay. It's from
from Taco Bell.
Taco
Yeah,
About Pins. Yeah.
yeah,
What he's holding up is a card with a pin in it around Christmas time from a friend of the show, Hillary Morris from Taco About Pins. He's two of
yeah.
them actually.
So actually, I was just looking. This one's from 2000, from 2024.
Yeah.
So some of these promo items, they land on my desk and they don't
Mm-hmm.
go away.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what is on your desk that you
Okay.
use day in, day out that just doesn't go anywhere?
All right, so this is not a shameless plug. I'm literally reaching right down here. A fairly well worn absorbent stone coaster from the original manufacturer of the coaster, absorbent stone coaster, CoasterStone. Got a vibrant full color print. Pretty nice. This is from a promocations event, excuse me, in Cabo San Lucas almost a year ago. Other promo items on my desk. I'm looking. I don't have. Well, I've got this. This is a just a big ass mug. Oh, here's one. I don't know if I can reach it. This is a one-off that my friends at Hirsch did for me. I have a bad habit of collecting Bluetooth speakers, but this one is my favorite, and it's a Van Halenized brand of eight JBL Flip 6 that I absolutely love. So that's one I use all the time.
I like it. Now, I will tell you that was a shameless test to see if you make sure you were using a coaster. Um,
I've got another one here. I mean, we did not talk about this. This is one from a trip I just got done going to Mexico that David supplied some coasters for my friends. And
yeah.
I even
Here's I'll show
I
you the
even
coaster.
I even have
Oh, go ahead.
I even have a car coaster one you did for me. So I do have them at hand. I do have them at hand.
Nice. Actually, I went. So my team always
Ah.
like making random coasters. So this is
Mm-hmm.
Nancy, our national sales
Yep.
manager. I went away and like as a joke, they were putting my face on different coasters and seeing if I'd notice. And I'm
That's
like,
good.
of
That's
course I
good for you.
noticed.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, those are the promotional products I have at my desk.
Well, good. Yeah. I mean, I've got the coasters, the pins. I love left Hillary. I love those pins.
Mhm.
There's a one that I don't come off. Actually, I have some buttons.
I'm
We
sure you
do.
do.
I do fun buttons, and when we do stuff for charities and stuff, I always like to keep those just because
Yeah.
it makes me remind myself, remind the team the good that we're doing in the community and
Well,
for other
becomes
people. And
yeah, it becomes part of the story.
yeah,
All right.
definitely part of the story. But yeah, that's what I got.
That's it. All right. Well, I think you've said it all. Perhaps you've said too much. I don't know. But before we let you go, let's thank our sponsor, shall we? Big thanks to our pals over at Seven Sourcing for sponsoring this fine broadcast. When you're ready to be the partner your clients want, one that delivers unique, custom, and bespoke branded merchandise designed exclusively for them, reach out to Russ and his team at sales@sevensourcing.com. David, thank you again for your friendship. Thank you again for coming on today.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate the opportunity, and maybe we could do it again soon.
We will. All right. See you next
All right.
time.
See ya. Thanks, Bill.